our bodies will heal themselves if we give it the right input. We don't need some kind of magic drug. I mean, let's think about it. Steak has been out for, how long have we been eating red meat? For thousands and thousands of years, right, Todd? 100%. I mean, so how can it be bad for us, even though we were taught in pharmacy school that red meat's bad for us? That just does not make sense evolutionarily wise. We would not be sustained as a species if red meat was bad for us. Nope. Same thing with butter, if butter was bad for us. Yet, your hypothyroidism, and you told me earlier off air, you had, when you were in the hospital during COVID and almost died, they prescribed a bunch of medications and you refused to go on them and you just changed your diet.
For sure. Yeah. And that was the thing, this isn't the first time that I've been on a diet. This is what's so funny about, I love some of the comments that I get on my videos. People go, it's not the meat that's healing you. It's the fact that you're not eating as much because you're eating meat, and you're not eating the hyper palatable foods. And there's some truth to that, but not really. But what's funny is that people think that I just got to, 39 years old and then for the first time thought about changing my diet. It's like, no, this is not why I'm such a proponent for carnivore. The reason why that I tout this from the rooftops is because I've been on diet since I was 14, 15 years old. I've lost 300 pounds twice in my life before and 200 pounds twice in my life before and gained it all back all 4 times, plus some. Got sicker because of it. And so I've tried every diet. The thing is that carnivore, everything else before it was a restriction. Carnivore is the opposite of that. Carnivore is nourishing. And when you feed the body heals itself. It heals the hormones, heals the mitochondria, it heals your metabolic system. And then your body can function properly because you're finally giving it the fuel that it was meant to have. Nobody ever told me, they just would tell, I don't know why, maybe it's just the way my brain works. But when I found out that you eat not only for fuel, but for building blocks, and you can give yourself a bunch of nutriently deficient fuel that it has to store, that's just causing problems, and your body's still going to be screaming for nourishment. I didn't know that. Nobody ever told me that. None of my doctors told me that. They didn't talk to me about that. They just told me to restrict, to eat less, that I might have, they sit there and tell me that I might have a psychological disorder or something, that I'm eating through, pain or whatever. And it's like, it was all nonsense. I was metabolically, it was a physiological problem that I had to fix. And I also struggled with suicidal depression for 30 years and absolute crippling anxiety. And for the first 3.5 weeks, that was completely gone.